President Trump acknowledged he is stepping into unknown territory here as he tries to hammer out a deal with Kim Jong Un. This comes just hours after he tangled with longtime U.S. allies in Canada. President Trump has also declined to answer when repeatedly asked if he and Kim have spoken by phone, but no hesitation to try to manage expectations, as he says any potential deal will take time. Heading toward history. President Trump traveled from the G7 in Canada overnight, arriving in Singapore this morning. Hours after North Korean leader Kim Jong Un's motorcade rode through the streets for his meeting with Singapore's prime minister in this neutral host country. The president saying his people skills will quickly assess North Korea's true intentions.
I think within the first minute, I'll know. My touch, my feel, that's what I do.
But before he sits with Kim Jong Un, the president's personal diplomacy with close allies soured. Not long after he praised Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who hosted the G7.
Justin did a really good job. I think the relationships were outstanding.
The president blasted Trudeau on Twitter as dishonest and meek in their dispute over trade and tariffs, after Trudeau complained.
Canadians were polite, we're reasonable, but we also will not be pushed around.
President Trump went further and rebuffed all the G7 leaders by refusing to back the traditional joint statement or communique, upending friendly relations as he tries to strike a deal with longtime enemy Kim Jong Un.
This is a leader who really is an unknown personality.
3 generations of the Kim family ruling North Korea have wanted the attention of an American president. Mr. Trump defended his willingness to say yes.
The haters, they say, oh, you're giving him a meeting. Give me a break, okay?
While the U.S. goal is a complete, verifiable, and irreversible end to North Korea's nuclear program, the president set the bar lower to start.
At a minimum, I do believe at least we'll have met each other. We will have seen each other. Hopefully we will have liked each other, and we'll start that process.
President Trump said North Korea gets, quote, one shot to show it's serious about denuclearization.
And if I think it won't happen, I'm not going to waste my time.
And the president was asked about going beyond issues like the nuclear talks, including human rights. He said he would bring that up and everything else. Now, with the help of South Korea, Japan, and China, who are willing to offer financial assistance, the president is willing to make that part of the conversation if North Korea cooperates. The White House is also allowing some extra time in the schedule if the meeting should go longer, and the president may indicate that that's possible, as he said, if his gut tells him things are going well. Willie?
All right, Kelly O'Donnell starting us off with the president in Singapore. Kelly, thanks so much.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.